All right. One more question before we let you go. I've absolutely fascinated by the way Lufkin and Ennis played out, and the way that Ennis and Lufkin, if you haven't heard, with the Storms and just the distance between those two teams, they decided, you know what, let's settle this with a coin flip. I kind of love it, Mike. I think I think it's a great move. I also give Jack Alvarez, the Ennis coach, every benefit of the doubt. He's got state title pedigree, one of the very best in the state. What did you think of the Lufkin Ennis coin flip?
I thought it was Bush League, honestly. Like, I mean, I get the mileage and the not wanting to load up the kids the next day, not knowing how the weather's going to be. But you can play Monday. I mean, Corsicana and John Tyler played Monday. And I understand that Lufkin and Ennis, they're going to be in the playoffs. So for both of those teams, win or loss here probably doesn't matter too much. But, I look at it as a player. You only get a certain amount of games as a varsity player. And if you're a starter, to be lucky enough to do that, I mean, you're depriving a kid a chance to play something that he puts a lot of time and effort into. And as a player, I would be incredibly furious that I wasn't allowed to line up against one of the better teams in the state and see what we were about. And I guess it's just the competitive nature in me or something like that, but I couldn't imagine getting on a bus, driving that far, and then the coach going, your win or your loss is going to depend on how I call heads or tails. Like, I'd flip.
I did enjoy Coach Rickland Holmes' tweet. There will be no coin flip, something like that. Paraphrasing it. I did enjoy that.
Have y'all ever talked to Chip Killian at Hendrickson, Pflugerville Hendrickson?
I not recently. I can tell you that much.
I mean, I had back in the day, not recently though. No.
He was my defensive coordinator in high school, and I taught his quarterback committed to UTSA to play cornerback, and I just happened to be talking to him about some stuff. And as soon as he saw my number pop up, he was like, hey, he's like, what's up? He's like, dude, do you know why and there were some cuss words in there. He's like, do you know why they flipped the coin? And I was like, nah. And he was like, dude, we would have fought if that would have happened. It's like, exactly. Like, that's just how you just line up and you go play. I practiced all week. I'm going to play. I'm going to hit somebody else. That's my stance.
I understand it. I understand your point. I think that I don't think there's a right answer or a wrong answer. I just think
you're wearing your practical dad pants right now.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm wearing my practical dad pants. Lufkin and Ennis are like 3 hours away. If you're going to get the game in, and if you don't get the game in on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, then you got to play Monday, and that screws up your whole week. I don't know. And to me, this comes back to giving Jack Alvarez the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I give him too much of the benefit of the doubt, but that's just.
I don't think. I mean, are we completely sure it was up to the coaches?
I think we are pretty sure. Everything that I've read has been coaches, or at the very least, administrators. I
just assumed it was superintendents and stuff like that, being like, we're not going to rent out a bus and drive 400 miles just to maybe play tomorrow. Go ahead and do the coin flip. We're both going to the playoffs. It's kind of how I assumed it went. And it makes sense for those two schools. But imagine if, if you're the third and fourth best teams in the district and you do that, and it just completely screws up district for everybody else. I mean, there's just a lot of ramifications for that if it happened for schools that weren't Lufkin and Ennis.
He is Mike Craven. Find his fine work at TexasFootball.com and other places on the internet, and follow him on Twitter at Craven. Mike, thanks, bud. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Appreciate it, guys.
There he goes, Mike Craven, here on DCTF Live. I don't know. Maybe I just give Jack Alvarez the benefit of the doubt because he's Jack Alvarez, and I think whatever he does is right. That's just basically it.
You know what? There's no wrong point there. I do think you're wearing your practical dad pants.
Maybe
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.